Hello and very warm welcome to RAF Limits. This is Farooq Hussain. In this hands-on video tutorial, we will learn how we can download and install DSpace 7 frontend. Although we have already downloaded and installed DSpace 7 frontend, but there is something new. Here we have DSpace 7.2 and Ubuntu 22.04. So we will install the DSpace 7 frontend and then we will connect that frontend to the demo site that's available on the remote site, and after that, we will install the backend as well and we will connect the front end with the backend. So let's start with this video. First of all, what we need to do, we need to open our terminal and activate the admin mode by writing sudo su and the password of your system. And then you need to update. So we sudo apt-get update, and then we need to upgrade as well. So we are already updated and upgraded. So there, let me clear this and bigger the size. Okay, in last video we have built a guide to install DSpace 7 front end on Ubuntu 21.04, and now we will try the same guide to install DSpace 7.2 front end on Ubuntu 22.04. So let me open the guide and let us check where we need actually changes. So here we have this guide, and we have discussed this guide in quite detail in that video. If you want to check the details, so you can have that video. Here we will work very quickly to install DSpace 7.2 front end. So there we need to install the node, and to have the node we need NVM. NVM is actually node version manager. So to check the stable version of NVM, we need to open this URL. Last we have installed the 0.38, and now let us check what is the stable version. So 0.39.1, and there we need to change this 39.1, and rest will be the same. I don't have curl, so we need to install this utility first. It's a command curl not found, but can be installed with this command app install curl. So we actually did this. So we have installed the curl now, and now let us apply the command to install NVM. And there we need to check the list So, 16 15.1 is actually the latest LTS. So, okay. So we are going to install 16.15 and 1. Okay. Now copy this, paste here. Okay, done. So the first thing, we have installed the Node.y NVM, and now we need to install the yarn. So you can check what is yarn. Let me tell you, yarn is fast, reliable, and secure dependency management. I have discussed this in quite details in the last video. If you get the chance, you can have that video. So paste this command. I actually going to add the yarn key here, this one, and then I am going to install the stable yarn version by using this command. Now I will install actually. I add the repository of yarn, say yes. So we have done, and now we can check the yarn version. What is actually the current version? So we have installed 1.22.19. So here is actually said upgrade yarn if installed version is older than 1.x. So we have installed 1.22, that's fine. So we can also use this command, doesn't matter. So we can have the latest version. See, now we have yarn 1.2219. Prior we have some old version, I don't remember that one. Okay, so now it's time to install the DSpace 7 front end. So what version we have? DSpace 7, we have 7.2 here. We need to update this to 7.2, and I hope this URL may work because we are using the that guide as it is. Okay, I think it's 7.2.1 at DSpace backend. But here, let me, it's 7.2. Okay. In front end, you need to say 7.2. And now let us rename this to DSpace 7.2 to DSpace 7. And we are using move command to rename this. And now it's a DSpace 7 Angular. Okay, after installing the DSpace and renaming the folder, we need to copy the directory into OPT directory. I mean, DSpace 7 Angular directory into OPT directory. So we need to copy this command and copy here and paste here on your terminal. Okay, now it's done. So the next thing that we need to do is to change the ownership. Here we have this command, copy this and paste here. Okay, it's a invalid user, so we need to create DSpace first as the user. Okay, okay, it's a invalid user, so we need to create the DSpace user. Here, I'll let me add two commands before using these. So it's sudo user add DSpace. Let us add a user, and we can set the password as well. It's a bad password, but it's okay. And we can make directory to have the DSpace, but that's not important here. But let me do that. After all, we have to install the backend as well. Okay, now we need to add the permission here. And then need to enter in this directory. And now let us start yarn. And this will take a long time, so let us wait for this, and let me pause my video here and I'll just come back when it may complete. Okay, now log in and let us see what happened. Okay, it has built the DSpace production environment with this config file. I'm sorry, I forgot to create and configure the config file, but I'll show you how actually we will configure the REST API and the front end address and the back end address here. And there you can see this is actually the product proxy created for DSpace backend API that's available on remote. And here we have locally installed front end that's available on localhost 4000. So let me open my web browser and then we will try to open the front end that we have installed, and that front end is actually connected with the back end. So I'll show you how actually we can connect the front end with the back end or the back end with the front end. So okay. So okay. Now localhost 4000. Okay, here we say yes. Okay, that's okay. And we can log in this. So let us check with this username and the password. So let me check. And the password would be DSpace. So we are connected with the DSpace backend API through this locally installed front end. And this front end is actually installed on the Ubuntu 22.04, and it's DSpace 7.2.1 front end, and the REST API, I mean the backend, is available on this address. This one API 7 DSpace. So let me copy this address. So here we are at the backend API, and that backend API is actually available on the remote side. I mean, the DSpace backend is available on the remote side, and that's actually connected with locally installed DSpace 7.2.1 front end. And now let me check how either we can create community collection or item. So if you want to learn how we can create a community, I mean the sub communities and the collection and item, so you can have that video how we can start working on DSpace 7. So now ref limbs library video lab. Okay. See, we have created one community and top level community, and now I'll show you how actually we will configure. So as you can see, this is actually the config file, this one. So it's available in OPT directory. OPT is one of the directory that's actually folder. In that folder, we have DSpace 7 Angular folder, and in Angular folder, we have this config folder, and there we have this file. So we need to edit this file if we want to connect other server or locally install front end, I mean back end. So I hope you can see this. Okay, I forgot to write the editor. It's gedit. Okay, since it's auto generated, so we have just REST API, and there you can see SSL. That is true. That's mean we are using a production environment. So we can say false if we want to connect a local host, and the local host and the port, the normal port of localhost is 8080 and then server. So we are not actually right now on a local host, we are on a production site, and that production site is available here, and we are connected through this production site through this Angular. So finally, we have installed the DSpace 7.2.1 front end on Ubuntu 22.04, and we have connected that locally installed front end with a demo site, and that demo site available on a production machine, I mean on remote site. So you can connect your local host with the production machine as well. And now in some other video, we will try to install the locally, I mean, backend on a local server, and we will connect that same front end with the backend. So, thank you very much for watching RefLimps. And I would say for the command lines, please pause the video and have the command line. You will note it down and you will understand better. My resources, whatever resources I generate, I have seen the people are using for commercial activities, for different blogs. So that's not my aim actually. So I would say if you want to learn at your own, so you need to pause this video, and then you can note down the command, and then you will understand well. So thank you very much for watching RAF Limbs. This is Farooq Hussain.